From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Alabama's International University, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for February 21st, 2017. I'm Samantha Charles.
And I'm Sarah Singletary. Thank you for joining us this evening. Tomorrow, Troy University students will elect a new group of executive officers for the Student Government Association. However, they'll be doing so in a brand new way. Justin Walker shows us how students will use online voting to cast their ballot.
Wednesday will start a new season for the Troy Student Government Association as the SGA's executive elections will be held and the newly elected officers will be voted in. And for the first time, the elections will be held entirely online.
So the election is tomorrow on Wednesday from 8 to 5. Students will be sent out an email. And basically what we do is to make sure that that student has only one vote is it's this two-step verification code. You got to log in with your Blackboard information to get into your email, and then you have to put in your student ID number to get into the link. And then once they're in that link, they can vote anywhere from 8 to 5, and then the results should be within the hour of that.
Melton says that it was hard for students to vote in the elections due to conflicting schedules with classes, sports, and other activities, but that the new system will make it easier for Troy students to vote.
It's just great because a lot of students can't either make it to campus 8 to 5 or can't stand in the line to come here studying abroad, they're interning. I mean, there's just so many different reasons, and we want people to feel like their voice is heard, and we don't want them to feel like they have to give up a huge chunk of their day to do that. So I think it's a great opportunity for students to really get involved and feel like their voice is heard.
Melton hopes that this election will produce a high voter turnout because not only is this election entirely online, but because of the quality of the candidates that are running.
I do. I think it will be, and I don't think it'll just be because it's online. I think we got a lot of great candidates running. There's a lot of talk about it, too. So I think that there's just going to be a lot of combinations where I could see this being the largest voter turnout for the SGA exec elections.
The elections will be held from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Wednesday, and the results are expected to be announced at around 6 p.m. Justin Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The election window will be tomorrow from 8 to 5, and once again, you will need to vote by checking your Trojan email. If you would like to know more about the candidates you are voting for, you can check out the officer candidate debates on our YouTube channel, and that is youtube.com/TroyTrojanVision.
Troy University holds career fairs every semester for all students to try and find a job for after they graduate. However, sometimes it is necessary to make the fair a little more specific, and that was the case this afternoon. Chelsea Law explains.
Tuesday afternoon, Troy computer science and math majors got an opportunity to meet possible employers at the Computer Science and Math Career Fair.
It's actually my first career fair that I've ever been to, due to baseball or whatever, or actually due to baseball in general. But overall, there's a lot of great companies, and I learned a lot of information that I feel is very important when it comes to somebody looking to get hired, get internships, or in general learn more about the interviewing process. So it was pretty cool.
The fair hosted a variety of companies such as Appleton, CGI, and the FBI. Students were able to talk to company leaders in small groups or one-on-one and learn about job requirements.
I feel like every company that I walked up to and I basically interviewed them. They allowed you to ask any question you possibly wanted and they had every answer I needed and more.
Some of these companies are currently in the hiring process and offering jobs to qualifying students.
There will be some job offers. We've also heard a student has received a job offer today, so it's just a great opportunity for them to get their name out there and start making connections with professional employers.
Career Services have more career fairs coming up later this semester for other majors.
So we have an education fair coming up, and we also have an all majors career fair coming up, and that's going to be on April 19th, and it will be for all of our majors, and we usually expect a really big turnout. Last year we had over 52 companies that come and participated, so we're looking forward to that in April.
Chelsea Law, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Students with questions about career planning can visit the Career Services office in 104 Eldridge Hall. And Troy University will soon be home to a new sorority.
That's right, Samantha. Representatives from AO Pi Sorority were on campus today, making plans for the group's arrival on campus this fall. Alpha Omicron Pi is on its way to becoming the new sorority on the Hill. But before the organization becomes active here on campus, representatives from AOPI's national office visited Troy on Tuesday to get a pulse on campus and really pick some students' brains, Greek students being a major resource.
They know who is Greek and who's not, and what their organizations already do to be such a strong community, because it's very evident that this is a very strong community and a very involved. And we like to just kind of get an understanding of how they are so successful and how they are setting themselves up for success, not only in their collegiate years, but as alumni as well.
And not only did the focus groups reach out to members of the Greek community, but also to students who are not in a fraternity or sorority.
We're not recruiting those Greek students when we might not be recruiting the men and women that we talk to that aren't affiliated, but those students have that great perspective of kind of telling us where to go on campus, who to reach out to, and how to become involved.
Sweeney adds that Troy's unique school spirit helps make the extension process more exciting.
One of our core values is college loyalty, and I think that there's not many campuses that exude college loyalty quite like Troy. Like, that's one of the first things that they talk about is school spirit and just being involved and being good ambassadors of the university for potential students and current students. So I think we're just really excited to have a group here and enhance what's already here.
And anyone interested in the new sorority can visit the Student Involvement Office in the Trojan Center, room 215.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on TrojanVision News.
Welcome back inside the world of Trojan sports. It's Fat Tuesday, and as we say down in Mobile, let the good times roll. And man, are the times rolling for the men's basketball team after another win last night in Trojan Arena. It's now 4 in a row for a men's Trojan basketball team that's gaining ahead of steam in the Sun Belt Conference. But Monday night presented a different atmosphere ahead of Troy's victory.
Tonight, for the first time all year, we had some home court advantage. And we had our students came out and helped us, and I thought that made a difference as well tonight. When this was one of those games where it was going to be a struggle to win the game. We weren't our best, they weren't their best. Somebody's got to grind it out. And I thought those students tonight really helped us push through.
It was another stellar performance from the reigning Sun Belt Player of the Week in Jordan Varnado. The sophomore sensation posted a 21-12 line in Troy's victory.
Yeah, late in the game, I thought they were a little tired, and man, when you battle Jordan for 40 minutes and defensively, he's going to wear people out. And he wasn't as efficient as he normally is, but when we needed him to come through, he did.
It wasn't all about the starters, though. The Trojans were led by performances of 2 key bench players.
Daniel Peace's steals, he had 2 huge steals. The one where he jumped that fake the pass route and jumped that passing lane, I think he got a 3-point play at the end of it. Was a huge play. But Alex is he's just going to get better and better. And what we need down the stretch is for him to do what he did today. Alex came in off the bench and he goes 4 for 6. 66%. So
this time of year it gets tough in conference, and with a new conference schedule, the challenge ahead of this weekend is trying to keep prepared.
I told the guys, hey, you got to be hard-headed, and just everybody that in the middle of the pack is going through this. We've got to find a way to string some wins together, and we saw it from a coaching staff in our team tonight. We just physically and mentally worn out. So the key now is how do we get it back and be fresh going into this weekend. We've got to do our job. In terms of limiting what they do, they've got to do their job and take care of their bodies.
With last night's 78-66 victory, the Trojans marked a 4-game conference winning streak. That hasn't happened for 7 years. Up next, the Trojans hit the road for a matchup against Texas State Saturday in San Marcos, Texas. Big-time baller alert, 6'2" power forward Caitlin Ramirez has been named the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week. I say power forward because she brings the dominance to that position. The news came out Monday after a week in which the Shawnee, Oklahoma native averaged 21.5 points and 12 rebounds a game. Oh, and the Trojans went 2-0 in that span. As the Trojans took down Appalachian State on Thursday, Ramirez had 24 and 14. Saturday, in a win against Coastal, the senior worked the glass and hauled in 12 boards to go along with 19 points. This is the second time this season Ramirez has earned these honors. She was named Player of the Week back on January 16th. Coach Rigby talks about her star player.
The physicality to be a great player, but her maturity level has come a long way, and her skill set has come a long way. And just, I think she's very deserving of it. I think she'll make a run for Conference Player of the Year, depending on how well we do down the stretch. And I think that would be a great representation of Troy University.
Ramirez and the Trojans will be back on the court this Thursday, battling with UT Arlington at 7 p.m. The Trojans currently sit in second in the Sun Belt Conference standings, one spot above UT Arlington. The men's tennis team is just 2-6 on the season. The season started in January, and the team played the entire first month on the road. They just played their first home match last week against North Florida. That resulted in a loss. Now, if I sound too positive about those negatives, I'm just pulling from head coach Scott Kidd, because according to him, there's a method to all this madness.
One home match. So you talking about we started the second week of January. You're driving. We'll drive 10 hours, 9 hours. So the whole thing is that, yes, it's tough. And a lot of times it's grueling on their bodies. But I think after a while it becomes to our advantage because it makes us tough. And that's what I'm telling them. I teach them to take bad circumstances and make them positive.
Men's tennis team next match will come on the road once again in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hang on for the ride as the Trojans take on Chattanooga this Friday at 2 p.m.